The world is changing and is experiencing one of the most turbulent and unpredictable phases of history. Everything we are experiencing today is characterized by several factors. The pandemic has slowed the economy, disrupting the way we live. The eruption of war has led to a reduction of raw materials, resulting in an increase in the prices of some products, such as wheat. This because of the imbalance between supply and demand. All of this has led to another danger that affects us very closely: inflation. In fact, even the most mundane and discounted items have become more expensive, such as pizza, coffee, hamburgers, and movie tickets. Things cost more and our money is worth less, or at least have less purchasing power, and inflation seems not to want to slow down. Is it possible to protect ourselves from inflation? Obviously, there are several methods, but we will focus on one in particular: Bitcoin. According to a 2022 research published on Axios, it appears that Bitcoin is an effective hedge against inflation. The current economic period is characterized by rising prices. This research found that Bitcoin simply protects itself from inflationary shocks compared to other assets such as oil and gold. If we want to understand how to protect ourselves from inflation, we must first understand what the word inflation means. It refers to the increase in the prices of goods and services we buy daily, which leads to a reduction in the purchasing power of money. Compared to the past, with our savings, we can buy fewer things, or rather, we can buy the same things but at a higher price. This graph illustrates the purchasing power of the dollar in the United States. In 1980, going to the cinema cost only $2, while in 2019, the average price of a ticket increased to $9. So in 1980, with a $10 bill, we could buy 3 movie tickets, today only 1. The ISTAT has announced that the consumer prices have grown by an average of 8% in 2022. Investors defend their savings by converting them into an asset that is more resilient than money, where the value is maintained over time, in what is called as a refuge asset. A safe haven asset is a financial instrument that is expected to maintain or even gain value during periods of economic crisis. Investors seek to protect their money from inflation by buying goods that increase in value when prices rise, such as stocks of companies producing essential goods or raw materials like oil or gold. The rule would be that it's better to invest than to save. Can relying on Bitcoin work as a hedge against inflation? The analysis presented by experts helps us to answer this question. Bitcoin can protect us from inflation, but several elements must be taken into account, such as the trend of inflation over time. There are other assets that can offer protection against short to medium-term hoarding, like oil, gold, and other commodities. The results of the markup show that Bitcoin is the most effective tool to protect yourself against inflation. One question to ask is, what strategy should be adopted against inflation? To get the most out of your investment, you need to invest regularly, that is, buying a certain asset regularly. This strategy is called recurring purchase, also known as PAC, Capital Accumulation Plan. If we had bought $25 worth of Bitcoin once a week for 5 years up to date, we would have obtained $6,925 in Bitcoin, but with a portfolio value of $15,803, or a profit of $8,800. However, it must be taken into account that no asset can offer complete long-term protection. A very important aspect is to study what you invest in and the timing of your investments.